Yesterday, I was driving home and I passed up the park on the street corner by the office. And what do I see? I see two fat, unhealthy looking people walking around in broad daylight, taking their fat in broad daylight. And they were wearing those stupid blue COVID masks. I still see this every now and again. People driving their car around with their stupid mask on. Like, they didn't tell us at the very beginning that those things didn't work. And then they just changed their minds to calm everybody down. These people deserve to be bullied, okay? And it's not out of sheer meanness. It's not out of just unbridled aggression. It's because for like 3 years, these people acted like a background character in the Gulag Archipelago. Like these people were informing on you. These people were calling the police if you were at the park with no mask on. That happened to me. You know, me and my friends used to hang out outside at the park and they'd call the cops on us, and the cops didn't really want to go out there, but they were like, hey, someone called, you're not wearing a mask. Y'all got to go home. They shut the beach down and they just got away with this behavior. It's insane to me that all these people got away with this behavior, this shaming, this snitching, this, just ostracizing people for being normal, just alienating people for not being scared little freaks. They just got away with it. And then COVID just quietly ended and no one ever had to say sorry about that. Like, my ass, that's crazy. Every time I see somebody driving around, some little skinny person driving around, some big fat driving around with a mask on, I go, that person's probably a piece of shit. And you know why I feel comfortable saying that? Because I don't snitch on people. I don't call the police on people. I don't go bother people when they're living their lives. But these people can't wait to go do that. And the normies just forget all about it. Once the trouble's over, normal people who contribute to society, who have jobs and start families, they don't have time to go back and wallop those people socially again for what they did. All the normal people are like, okay, I can finally move on with my life. So all those people in the airport that when you're walking around back in 2020, 2021, were like, sir, they just got away with it. They get to stay employed and they get to keep carrying on. Meanwhile, they were dropping dimes on you and your friends for being normal, healthy, non-terrified, non-scared, non-neurotic people. And that does not sit right with me. And a lot of the people, like, there's this weird trend I notice. I don't know what to make of it, so I don't really have there's no moral to this. I notice a lot of homeless people or a lot of like crackhead looking people. Those are two different categories, by the way. I'm not calling all homeless people crackheads. That's not true. But a lot of like shadier people wear those masks on. It's almost like some weird, it's like performative maleness, or like guys that try to act more feminine so they can get closer to girls and then try to get with them. Nice guy syndrome. Kind of reminds me of that. It's like when these people clearly like on crack are walking around with the mask on, it's like they're trying to say, oh, look at me. Look how good I am. I'm a functioning member of society. You can trust me. I'm wearing a mask. I'm doing my part. And there's something about that makes me want to just smash it in Minecraft. I just want to smash it, whatever that behavior is, not the people. I'm not advocating to hit people, but whatever impulse that is, whatever like, oh, I'm just an innocent little mouse, don't mind me. I'm just going to take your catalytic converter now, but at least I'm wearing my mask. I just want to smash that behavior so bad. You know, I've been watching, everyone's talking about it, so I'm not going to dwell on it. I watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Thank God, by the way, we have an actual good Game of Thrones IP out there. But you think Baelor Breakspear would wear a freaking mask walking around the park? Barely wore a helmet. Like, I think we've I like to call this generation, and I don't. It's hard for me to tell how many, like, what percentage of the population is afflicted by this and what isn't, because the ones afflicted by this are a lot louder. We're like, I call us the poison generation, or the poisoned generation, where everybody is just upside down, backwards, twisted into some unnatural human pretzel. Because you watch these protests, you watch people online, you watch people on TikTok, and the girls are like, I watched these Asmongold videos where like he's watching body cam footage of a police arrest, and the girls are like screaming, just no, 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 you bitch, you don't reach in my car. Like, that's who taught you that? And I see a bunch of guys that are emotionally disturbed, and they're, same guys that wear overalls, and they're all sad and like trying to be mysterious and, you know, dark and sullen, melancholy. And it's just gross to see all, like, Carl Jung had this idea that whenever girls are neurotic, they do this thing where they act like there's like the anima and the animus, right? Guys have the anima, which is like the feminine sort of principle in men. It's just a psychological thing. It sounds like woo woo, but it's pretty real. And like when guys when guys lose their normal mental faculties, like if they're in a heated argument, they start acting like girls. Like they start getting real emotional. Like, well, you never said thank you to me. You never do this, you never do that. And when girls get off their game, when girls become neurotic, they do this thing where their subdominant masculine principle kind of comes out, and they start using really bad logic and trying to reason with you and gaslight you, but it's all wrong because they don't know how to think, and guys don't know how to be emotional, right? So like, I probably explained that very badly. I might just talk about that in a different video, but it's like everyone has that now. All the guys are like in their feelings. Like I said, wearing overalls, acting all sensitive, but they'll stab you in the back and they'll roofie your drinks the first chance they get. And all these girls are out here, getting educated, doing things men used to do, which is fine. I don't care. But they just can't, like, all they do is get combative now. All these girls, go watch the protests and arrest videos of girls, and like when they're dealing with police officers, like they're just making up laws. Like they're trying to sound like they have some kind of legal standing, but it's all just nonsense, masked as an actual argument, masked as the thesis. And then guys, like you can just see it with the shooters, all, like I said, disgusting human pretzels. The trans stuff, not knocking all trans people, right? I got trans friends. Okay, I'm not doing that. If that's what you think I'm doing, I'm not. But there's a difference between a trans person and an ogre that, goes off and shoots up a school. Those are ogres. Those aren't like the Greek ladyboy concubines of Roman emperors in days gone by. Like, trans people have always been around to that capacity. But what you have now with guys is a bunch of ugly, fat, pimply, nasty, no hygiene type people slathering makeup or lathering makeup on their face and putting on mascara and looking like they all got the 1,000-yard stare, and it's only a matter of time, And then you got the girls in the protest just screaming, never referring to like, what local laws, just making shit up and then getting arrested and wondering why. Like, we gotta figure this out. And this is, I went so far from the mask talk, didn't I? But that's a big part of it, because whenever people get neurotic and whenever people are put in unnatural situations, whenever you can't trust your own, when you're not that you can't trust them, whenever you're not allowed to express your own instincts anymore, girls start doing that thing where they put their fingernails in your face and jingle their crap. I'm rattling my watch. Guys start putting on lipstick. People start snitching on other people for not wearing a mask at the beach in June. It's all wrong. I don't care what's couth. I don't give a shit. It's all backwards. None of us are better for this. I don't think even any of the people in question would think they're better for this, as evidenced by the SSRIs. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer for this one except maybe go camping. Go to the beach. That's my like slap a band-aid on it answer. Go to the beach. For the love of God, go outside. What are you doing? Not you, the audience. You, the audience. You're smart. All 5 of you are smart for watching my videos and listening to these basically journal entries. But we got to get it together. We need to hold people to account again, and we need to shame and we need to bully again. Not for no reason, but when you take consequences out of society, people start acting all kinds of weird ways. I say bully, I'm being hyperbolic, okay? You shouldn't go bully people. That's not a good idea. But you should call people out. And if people are acting weird, you're allowed to tell them they're acting weird, okay? If I go into a Walmart and I just start making a bunch of noises and I start flailing my arms around and acting erratic, it's embarrassing for me and everyone else if no one is allowed to tell me I'm acting weird. Be upfront. Like every time you don't tell these people they're acting like freaks, you're lying and they're lying, and everyone knows the situation is a lie, and that has an effect on your psyche. And imagine doing that for years and decades, like we've been doing in Western culture. And it's no wonder everyone's a freak. Like calling people out, telling people what they're doing, being honest with people is a favor. It's a kindness. It's a mercy. Because if you don't, if you just keep feeding into people's neuroses, then, well, I guess you get this. That's the video. Take care. Have a good day. Be normal. Tell the truth. If someone's acting weird, tell them they are. And you should tell people around you that if you're acting weird, they should tell you and you're okay with that. And they're actually doing you a favor. So, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.